lot of about Matt Lauder and his improvement and stuff, and just how he's ready to kind of take that next step. What have you seen from him?
Yeah, exactly to your point. He's taken a lot of steps. Definitely on the football field, I think he's gaining more confidence with every rep. He's definitely growing with his football intelligence, which is helping him play fast. And what I love is that he's growing as a leader too, within our offense, within the tight end room, on the team. So it's just that maturity and growth that you see naturally, but he's definitely taken ownership of it, and he's come a long way.
12 or 13 personnel. Do you guys see using maybe more of that than you had in the past, where you have multiple tight ends and behind Lauder? How's that working out, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, you want to be in every type of personnel. And as a tight end coach, I love 12 and 13. Just get them on the field. But it's what's best for our team and what's best against whatever opponent we're playing. I do think the young guys had a great opportunity to get a bunch of reps and develop this spring. I think we've seen that out of them. So I'm excited about where they're at, and that allows us, to your point, to get into more 12 personnel, 13 personnel.
Matt Wagner has flashed like every time we've been out in practice. I mean, where is he right now? Where is he growing from last year? And how dangerous is he as a receiver?
I think he's grown a lot, and a lot of that is just being freshman to now sophomore year, and the growth that you get physically. Obviously, being comfortable with the offense, that allows you to play faster. But he's just so driven, and he's so coachable that he goes out with that right mindset every day, and you're seeing it translate to the field. And I think what is unique about Matt is he is a threat in the pass game. He's shown that he can make those plays and go get those 50-50 balls, which just adds to the depth of the room and helps our entire offense.
Seems like both Lauder and Wagner can stretch the field pretty well. I mean, how's that going to play in the offense? How's that going to help the offense?
I mean, it can play in a lot of different areas. I mean, the more you can do at the tight end position, I mean, you guys see that in the NFL a lot right now. The two teams in the Super Bowl, their tight ends are pretty good. So I think it just helps your overall offense. It helps add a different dynamic for the defense that they got to prepare for. And then for us, it's just great to be in that position to go make plays.
Your priority is obviously the tight end room, but at the same time, you have a offensive coordinator title. Dirk Cutter is here.
Yep.
You're on the headset with them. You're trying to develop your career as well. What has this spring meant for you in that?
Oh, it's been huge. I've been pushed way out of my comfort zone. Coach Cutter does a great job teaching, mentoring, and helping me develop just an entire offensive mind, but also put me in situations where I have to make quick decisions and get that experience. And so this spring has been a lot of firsts, but it's been a lot of good too.
Ultimately, your goal is to be an offensive coordinator and climb the ladder and be whatever after that, or?
I got a lot of goals. Right now. It's just doing the best I can for the role I'm in with the team, and part of that is growing the ability to be able to play calls potentially in the future, but more just help the overall offense.
What's your role on the helmet communication system? Would you know what it's going to be moving forward?
We're still working through that because it's so new, but I've always had a role as far as just the communication in the pre-snap. That's part of what I do on game day, being able to relay some information. I know every team in the country is working through what exactly that, caller to quarterback communication is going to be like, and the details with it. So we're doing the same thing this spring.
Your interaction with Dirk, on the field,
Yeah.
as you learn and he teaches you and vice versa, and then off the field, I mean, how's that interaction work?
I mean, I have tremendous respect for him as a person, also as a coach. And so I listen to everything he says. I try to learn from everything he does. He's very humble. He takes my opinion. He wants to know what I think. He values that. And so that helps me, grow as a coach, but it also helps the relationship and the dynamic as an offensive staff. I mean, he's an incredible leader. I mean, it speaks for itself with his track record. So
Dirk seems so honest, direct, transparent.
yeah.
Is he the same way with the coaches, and how does that help you improve, I guess?
Yeah, what I love, to your point, is that there's no gray area. It's pretty much, this is the job to do. We got to do it, and this is how I want it. So let's go out and get it done. And if something comes up, we'll find solutions. And so for a coach, that's nice because I know exactly what my role is, what my job is, and I don't have to guess. And he's always open for questions. So that work environment, that dynamic's really good.
Do you think there's a difference between him and his NFL? I mean, I know he has a college background, but in the NFL, it is a little more there is probably less gray area because you expect guys to be pros and things like that and take care of their business. I don't know. Does he have that type of? Is it different at all of his approach maybe than maybe some college coaches at times?
You know, I don't know that
Yeah.
because I wasn't around him when he was in the NFL. I just know football's football, and a lot of those things carry over regardless of the level you're at. And obviously, his love for football and his knowledge and how much he cares about Boise State University and Boise State football is it shows.
You're still the run game coordinator, right?
Yeah.
How's Gaines? We've heard a lot about Gaines really coming in as a true freshman and
Yeah.
doing some impressive things. What's stood out about him?
His work ethic, he cares tremendously about doing it right and learning from his reps. I love his effort on special teams. It says a lot about who he is just as a football player. And it's just that mindset as a freshman. I mean, he's attacking everything. He's competing as hard as he can. And the physical tools are there, and you guys have seen that. So it's exciting. I mean, I love him, man. It's great to watch, not just him as a running back, just him as a football player.
With him and Breezy, I mean, everyone obviously rightfully so talks up Ashton, and he's obviously going to get the lion's share of the carries. But I mean, how do you feel about the combo of Breezy and Gaines, and what you have there in terms of the running game?
Yeah, I mean, you need depth at the running back position. You need depth at the running back position, and I feel like we've made huge strides this spring to develop that depth. And I feel good about all those guys. I love the running back room. You know, I'm their biggest fan. So they make my job a lot easier. And I feel really good about where Breezy's gone this spring and, of course, Gaines.
We're going to spend some time with Breezy here in a few minutes. What do you like about what you've seen from him this spring? And what's he like, because we've never had a chance to really kind of talk to him one-on-one.
Yeah.
What's he like away from football?
Oh, he's goofy. I'm sure Coach Jamo would say the same thing. He's goofy. Everybody loves being around him. But, he's polite. He's mannered. He's a nice guy. He does things right. I just love how he's evolved as a football player, the technique side of things, running with pad level, being able to pick up those pressures and pass protection. He's just kind of grown there because physically, I mean, you guys see it. He's definitely grown as a specimen, being able to run and do those things.
Do you see him sliding into Georgia's role last year, 100 to 150 carries?
I don't know that yet. That's a good question. I feel comfortable that we have enough guys in that room that they can share the load.
Get back to Matt. He seemed like kind of more of a quiet kid. Like the first times we talked to him on, earlier in his career, when we talked to him, a week or so ago, he just seems so confident in what he's doing right now. Like he just exudes it. As this coach, where is that coming from for him? What is allowing him to get to that point in his career?
I think it's just the growth. It's being able to see the hard work pay off. That's part of the confidence. Understand that he has a routine, he has a way that he prepares that allows him to be confident, and it's just getting comfortable, through those experiences. Now he's been in front of the media multiple times, and so you guys are starting to see his real personality, which is good. But that's just part of just his growth and maturity and part of being in this program.
In terms of his, again, from just what we've seen in practice, his explosiveness after the catch, like it just feels like it's been a moment since you guys had a tight end that could pop, after catching the ball as well. Like, where's he at in terms of his ability to be explosive in this offense?
I mean, his ability's through the roof. You guys have seen it. He's already proven it last season. He's very explosive in a lot of different areas of the football field. And so I'm just excited for him to go out and do it because that's what it's really about, is going and doing it in the season when it really matters. And I know he's capable of doing that.
During the course of the season, it seemed like he came on in the last half of the season. Where do you think you saw the biggest jump for him to be able to do that?
It really started the year before, towards the end of that season, where he made a few plays. He got kind of thrown into a starting role, and he learned a lot from that. And I think as the season went on last year, he just continued to build that confidence we talked about. And there was a few particular games where he made some plays. And that's just like anything. That builds that momentum, and that carries over, towards the end of the season and into the offseason.
Going into spring ball, we talked about Ashton, and he didn't need to go out and maybe get as many carries as in years past. It just seems like he's been very deliberate. How would you kind of assess how Ashton has approached and benefited from this spring?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a pro mindset. He really does, and that goes with everything. That goes with how he's leading the team on and off the field, how he's taking care of his body, how he's training, and so I think he's really just in that focus, in that mold right now, where he's just thinking about how can he continue to be a better player, person, leader, and it's showing up.